would y'all be interested in coming up a little bit closer?
Yeah. Come on, everybody.
I don't want to squish people together if they're like wanting space too also. I'll make sure you get stuff. I am a farmer, and I've been farming in and around Atlanta for 15 years now. And I am here with this beautiful herb. And I was wondering if there was any herbalists or herb lovers, plant lovers here.
I love them. Oh, that's it.
Yeah!
I have it growing with me.
They're so beautiful. I just dug this one up today. So when I first started working with herbs, I was really sick. And I came to learning about herbs in the way of trying to find out like what was gonna get me better. And so I was just looking at all these plants, trying to find out like, what can you offer me? And you know, that's a young person, someone who grew up in this culture, and was also desperate for healing. But plants are beings, and just like all of us, like we need to be listened to and appreciated, hopefully before we're being taken from. So we're gonna meet this herb in a bunch of different ways right now, if y'all are into it. So I'm gonna pass these around, and y'all can take one. Here, I'll hold it. Yep. You got it. And I just asked, yeah, you're so welcome, that we have a little bit of quietness while we're experiencing and smelling and touching. And just take a minute to, I know, you did it. Find out what information this plant is wanting to share. So welcome. Is anyone open to sharing a little bit about what they're picking up on? Your response earlier was so beautiful.
It just feels friendly, but very cleansing.
I think the name is kind of perfect because it's a grass, but it's also lemon. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, so straightforward. This plant, y'all know, was stewarded by people in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Australia, and will grow in the subtropics, like warmer temperate climates here, but only will flower and make seed in these very tropical regions. And so we grow from divisions here. Does anyone have anything else you're noticing, feeling, smelling, picking up on?
I'm feeling like what Hazel mentioned about like the like welcoming feeling of the plant. But when you hold it, it almost seems, I don't know, it's like if you're not careful, you could feel a bit of a paper cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a lot of cuts from
Yeah.
working, like preparing for tonight, and I'm like very careful.
Yeah, and so I think it's really interesting, and I think to me it kind of feels like, it speaks to the fact that we all have so many layers, including these beings right here, you know, I mean, we're, just because if feels prickly to me, like when I hold it a certain way, but then when I smell it or like bite it, which feels so violent, but I'm like so interested, and I think, you know, kind of like what you said a little bit before, like kind of resonated with me right after I did. I mean, it resonated with me to begin with because this is like the culture we're in, but like, what can I get from you? You know what I mean? I'm like, I want more, you know, so like I'm gonna destroy you in a way, but I don't think like enjoying something or experiencing something with your mouth is necessarily destruction, so I don't know. Maybe transformation,
Wow, yeah.
you know.
Well, we've got the next little thing, and y'all are welcome to hold on to those. You can use that to make tea or put it in some soup. If you're gonna boil water, it's fine if, you know, hands are all over it tonight. Yeah, rub it on. And I don't know if y'all got a chance to meet Jess.
Hi, everyone.
And these are our other plant friends. Kind of know each other. So the plant grows about this tall here. It'll get a lot bigger in tropical places and has this stalk and big leaves that kind of come out in fountain shape. So this is the stalk, and Jess pounded these up so you can take this. And we've been washing our hands and using gloves. So you can eat this. And I've been chewing on
We can't or we
one.
can?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're gonna crush another set here. So I've got some for you. Tea, and I'll be right back. You're so welcome, thank you. You want some to chew on? And as you're tasting or sensing, please feel free to say anything. And it can be something that you think is just way far off, but we can go online and get so much information about these plants. But this is like the information.
I feel like it's surprisingly sweet.
Yeah. It's really sweet.
Spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like both of these I'm touching them and they're touching me back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like it has an integrity, not like it's necessarily dissolving into it, like it kind of like is retaining itself within you.
Well, yeah. I chewed on a piece for a long time earlier and still had, it was almost, I mean, it was in my mouth 30 minutes later. I just swallowed it. It's like the gristle.
Very fibrous.
Yeah. Lots of integrity to its structure. Do you notice a temperature? Like warming, cooling, or just start one way and then have you feeling another way afterwards?
For me, it's a warming feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel my face is like perspirating.
Mm-hmm.
It's really making my mouth water.
Yeah, that's really great. It's interesting because if you go online and look at this herb and its energetics, it's cooling, right? But that, I notice a warming from it too, and it might be because it's diaphoretic, meaning it's pushing heat up and out, so it has an overall cooling effect through warming you up and moving heat out. I mean, the shape of the plant, it clumps, right, and then it just goes. So the next piece is, I'm going to pass out these little banana leaves, and we'll be serving you into these leaves.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, there's a spot on it.
Cool.
And if you have questions about what's in anything before I get to it, please feel free to.
Oh, what's in the cubes?
So there's right. It's a seaweed called agar agar,
Okay.
and it's a lemongrass infusion, meaning I simmered the lemongrass stalks and leaves.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Everyone? One more. And sugar, organic cane sugar. So agar agar is a seaweed that gels up. If you ever go to a bubble tea spot, there'll be like grass jelly and all these different jellies. And they're making it with agar agar.
Is agar specific to any part of the world or just everywhere?
I think Southeast Asia, because that is where you see all of these treats being made really popular. There is seaweeds that grow in the Atlantic, the sea moss, which kind of do something similar. They just don't gel up as strong.
Lazy sea moss.
Yeah. It doesn't hold its form as much.
Does it have similar properties?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Interesting. Cool.
I was looking into that earlier. Yeah, all the minerals. So many minerals.
Yeah.
But these have been like dried and powdered, so I don't know how much translates once they've been gone through all processes.
Oh, are these
Yeah, exactly. And it's like not gelatin.
Animal product.
Yeah. It's like cool if you're like, I guess, making your own gelatin, but who knows what's in it.
A lot of this, the conversation and the experience here is making me think of the idiom of something to chew on in the sense of like actually the informational qualities of chewing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I initially thought that I was going to bring some products, and then you started saying performance, like you were calling me a performer, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just figure out something that we're all participating in. So if we take maybe 30 seconds to just feel what we're tasting, and then share. Calm. And if anyone wants more, just raise your hand. More jelly. Yeah, you can do that.
calling on my memories.
We're eating lemongrass and they taste like lemongrass.
Like Fruit Loops.
Oh.
Like all these are weird childhood memories.
Fruit Loops, that's what my friend Almeida determined from and I think that they do use lemongrass oil or some sort of chemical derivative.
Okay, thank you.
Of it to make.
To bring back the memories?
I mean, it's making me think of eating Fruit Loops.
No, I tasted, yeah, you said that, yeah.
to like dissolve it on your
Yeah, it's
tongue.
like it leaves it in your mouth.
It's like that gritty cereal
Yes,
vibe.
yes.
Yeah.
Like the texture.
Not gritty, but grainy. Mealy,
so
maybe? I don't
much.
know. Mealy's a negative connotation.
I did also put dried powdered lemongrass in here, so you might be able to taste the grit of it. I used
That's nice.
fresh tea and then I dried and ground some of it.
I didn't mean gritty. I just meant I like, the first one I sort of like kind of chewed or maybe swallowed a little bit, but the second one I like took my tongue and like pulverized it against the roof of my mouth to like experience it more deeply. And I got like a lot more texture information in addition to flavor. And I know it's funny though, everybody's laughing. It sparked those like memories of like that olfactory memory that you get. You know, like deep memories. Yeah, it is powerful.
I love that so much. Alright, we got the next.
Oh, there's more?
There's more!
Wait,
There's
there's more.
There's 2 more things happening. Or more, 3 more things. And actually,
And I feel like we just have others.
I think I wanna like go slow. I don't wanna save it.
Yeah. Don't feel like you want to do it too quickly.
Yeah, but I'm too greedy.
Yeah, I
need
can't
it
stop.
right
I
away.
also can't stop. No self-control.
Alright, so this is the part we're going to be passing around and sharing. Before you open it, just let me get them out to everybody. I'm going to pass one out with every 3 people. So, and then share what the next is to do. Okay. So, is anyone here familiar with the process of making essential oils? So this is a very miniature copper element still, which is a very traditional way of making essential oils. And the process of essential oils is either hydro or steam distillation. And you'll boil water down at the bottom. You'll either have herbs in there or herbs here and heat element underneath. And it boils up and the pressure and the steam comes through, and then there's this condenser tube that the steam runs down through, and y'all can pass this around and look at it. But you'll see that there's a coil of copper through the middle of it, and the pressure is going to push the steam down this coil, but in the negative space inside of the canister, there's usually plumbing. Old-fashioned, it would be run from a cold river. Now we'll set up a cooler with ice, but you plumb water in and then it's constantly flowing back out. And so that cooling action causes the steam to condense, and it drips out the small little hole that's facing out right now, and then the back 2 holes are the entrances into the negative space. And so with a still, this is a very small 3-liter still, and I do this process, I'll get out about 3/4 of a quart. And what comes out is a hydrosol and an essential oil. And you'll see it's like mainly water, which is the hydrosol. Y'all familiar with rose water or orange blossom water? Those are all hydrosols. And the very top, the teeniest thin layer of essential oil, right? And they separate those out. And they're like giant stills, and they're processing, tons of eucalyptus and lemongrass, herbs that do give a higher quantity of essential oil, but something like rose. The essential oil of rose is very expensive, which is partially why we're also familiar with rose water. Because it still has the aromatic properties. It's the essential water of the plant. The water has come boiled up through and taken all of the spirit of the herb and pushed it through. We use these same stills to make alcohol, we call spirits, right? So it's, if you get essential oil or essential water, you're dealing with the mind and the spirit information from the herb. If you burn an herb and then burn it completely to ash, you're dealing with the mineral salts, the body of the herb. And then if you make back up. you make like a alcohol extraction of the herb, then you're dealing with the soul of the herb. You're pulling it out that way. That's just one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Here, I can take that back. So what you have in these little jars is the hydrosol of lemongrass. There's a little bit of essential oil in it because I don't separate when I distill. And if you would just pour a little bit into your hands and then rub it in your hands. Yeah, shake it, smell it. You can put it on your skin and then pass it. So be conscious when you're pouring it out so that other people can have the experience as well.
So this is a lemongrass water?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How long does this process take?
With this still, getting it set up is about an hour to when everything clean. You have to get the plumbing set up, but this still will run for about 45 minutes before what I'm getting is mainly like evaporated tea water and not the hydrosol, but the larger stills, people will use, you have to babysit it and it's like all day long. That's amazing. But these are so cool because anyone can do it in their house and it's such a beautiful piece. And copper actually pulls the sulfury components out of herbs. So if you get, right? No, it's so interesting. Copper is just really special. A lot of people distill in like stainless steel or glass, and they have to let the distillate sit for weeks to air off the sulfur smell.
Is that something like don't cheaper wines have like sulfites in them or something? Is that
I think they add that.
Yeah, that's a preservative they add.
Oh, okay, so it's something totally different.
That's what gives them our hangover too, that's basically when it's sulfate free.
Does everybody, there's so much more of this beautiful thing here. Did everybody experience it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enjoy it. And it's really good in the hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same Quinn is like, okay, I'll do that.
The reason why hydrosols can last for a long time is because their pH is usually under 6. But coincidentally, our skin has an acid mantle. And of course, we like break it down, use soap on it. And it's important to like clear off a layer of, skin. But also, we need to maintain the acid mantle. And that's why people use a lot of vinegar in their hair and on their skin. So hydrosols are really nice for the skin and the hair and the scalp. If anyone who put it on their head, did you notice anything?
I'm actually feeling like a lot of inflammation on my scalp. Like it's very similar to the sensation that I got when I was chewing. Like creating an exit for heat maybe because of the way that you described it.
Yeah.
It's like it's a party on my scalp and everyone's invited.
Yeah.
Does anyone want this one?
Yeah.
Another dabble?
That much better.
So here we have to dig the lemongrass plants up because they die in the cold weather. So consuming a lot of very cooling herbs at this time of year can be problematic for some people who already run colder. And so traditionally it's paired with warming herbs. And we've got some hot tea here made with, we'll just start passing this out on this side. We've got ginger, And the butterfly blue pea flower. Also. That's really interesting. People say it's a mercury. And I think that has a lot to do with communication, so I'm not familiar with it. But that's really amazing to derive that. So it's like just like storing so much information. It's cool. But like you already know it.
Ginger and, what was it?
Butterfly blue pea flower. And this, it's a very traditional Thai pairing of herbs. Yeah.
Does it have sugar in it?
Yeah, there's no tea, no caffeine.
It's so sweet.
Oh, I put organic cane sugar in it. So I was like, this is perfect. So we make it sweet.
Someone brought the sugar.
It was fair trade sugar
At every
too.
party.
And it wasn't a whole lot.
I'm a believer in, you know, unrefined fair trade cane sugar for sure.
Yeah,
It makes life sweeter.
I mean, come on.
It's delicious.
Sugar grown.
I have a plant, yeah, they overwintered without, heat in the greenhouse. And it's like, in Middle Georgia,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's not caffeinated at all?
No, yeah, no caffeine, just ginger, lemongrass, and butterfly blue pea flower, and a little bit of sugar. I don't know if
It's still
sugar.
really invigorating. I mean,
Invigorating.
it's-
It's a good word for it.
Can you tell more about this butterfly pea?
So, it's a pea plant that's from Southeast Asia. And there it's perennial, but it's edible pea flowers. Its Latin name is Clitoria ternity, and they're like these roughly pea flowers. You know, the pea flower is like the anatomy of a vagina, vulva, but they're like double, triple ruffled. And the plant is wild because every single flower is unique, and it's showing like every single like variation in the plant. But they have specific components that put this intense blue color into whatever. I didn't put a whole bunch in there because it wasn't like the feature, but you can see the tea's a little bit blue.
Yeah, you
It smells.
There's another plant, the shoal lily. Its Latin name is Hymenocallis,
can.
for the thin membrane.
Hymen.
Yeah,
Where's the membrane on the plant?
it's like right under the flower. Surprise, surprise.
So the first insect that gets there is like, does it grow here? Does it grow here?
It's in Georgia.
You guys should have like a plant corn.
I know, I'm sure there's probably groups that relate colors. Also, Robbie works with the Arabia Mountain Preserve.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're the ranger there. Yeah, so I don't know if y'all, have y'all been out to that park? Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a nice alternative to going to Stone Mountain. It's like crowded and everywhere.
And because there are no Confederate memorials.
Right, but like,
That's something I like about it.
And it's
Or any
pretty
other
too.
place.
it's just
Right.
unique week, and also I must mention this, that Robbie is probably the person who's planted the most fruit trees in Atlanta. I would say.
Hey,
Just stop traffic, like, you need more peach trees on this road.
Come on.
Yeah, he does, he'll like grill us and he's like, let's just pan down.
Yeah.
Alex
Why
has
can't
wanted
go down,
to be this
but
guy.
it's worth it.
Always wanted to do this. I needed permission, yeah.
Yeah. You were born here. I just that's like some permission.
Thank you for permission.
Can I do this? Can I do this here? Am I allowed to do this? Can I do this here?
Yeah.
Break out of that sound.
My grandfather made for me was
I will say this next thing has tree nuts in it, so everyone has tree nut. Yeah? Oh, you got one.
No, the tree nuts.
Oh,
You
yeah?
never know about the tree nuts with me. It's exciting.
Maybe we don't need that level of excitement today.
Why not? I want to be the center of attention. Sorry.
Double up. Just because we can't have enough banana leaves.
Oh, I got okay.
Yeah, just because some people stood
Nope,
out.
not giving to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you want more tea or anything else, let me know.
Thank you.
Okay.
It should work.
Oh.
They're all jealous.
Here, boys, you got tree nuts in here. I can't get them. I've hurt your eyes.
So we got cashews. I just want to say this before people start like nibbling it. I feel like it's ethical. So there's cashews,
What do we
coconut,
cashew?
lemongrass. If you see a very small yellow pepper, it is very hot. It is the chatapita, which is one of the original hot peppers. And garlic, and some salt,
There's no pine nuts in there?
no pine nuts,
Okay, I can take these.
Cashew?
and
Cashews.
coconut. And
Cashews.
it was fried.
That's
It
right.
was fried in
That
avocado.
could be, well, that could be a part of it.
Full disclosure. We just take a moment to taste the last tasting experience.
And are the peppers like dehydrated or is that just kind of how they?
Fried.
Oh, okay, fried, and they kind of shrivel up.
Yeah.
Really?
There's curry leaves in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Curry leaves.
I want to get to a pepper, but I'm not ready.
Yeah, me too.
I don't care how many
Ready for the fire.
I was a little concerned about that. That's the pepper that you made.
I know, I remember. I want to experience it again. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, I need to get some of those seeds.
Is it super hot?
How are we going?
Time traveling or jumping?
Like, I was time traveling, but I was like still able to like communicate a little bit. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like asking for space.
This is like,
You know? It's like I'm moving too fast.
Yeah, it was hard to taste everything else after that. And then I gave you the numbing plant.
Mm.
Or like spice and numb down.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you for doing this experience.
Thank
So this is so amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think I'm speaking from a G, and I think I have the license to speak from a G. Could you cater all these things?
I'd be really into that. I will say that I have lemongrass bundles available and some of the hydrosol in spray up there. Don't feel any pressure. I'm just letting you know they're here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check it out.
Also, I farm with a collective called Grow Where You Are, and we're at the Freedom Farmers Market, 1st, 3rd, and 5th Saturdays. If you want to come see us and get some food.
Where's that?
At the Carter Center.
Gotcha. Oh, you all have
In the parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yep. And I did just change my business name to Earth Rich Herbs. It was Third Moon Botanica for 12 years. So this is the first thing I've done with my new business name. There's a little code that you can pick a picture of over here, and then the Grow Where You Are card. Feel free to come over here. There's tea available. There's more of the snacks. So it's just available for the rest of the evening. Thanks, Rob.
Oh, I'm good.
I'm good.
Does anyone want to say anything else about this plant?
Lemongrass?
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it's like you rub it one way, you can rub it the other way, but it's like it's telling you how it needs to be handled, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't want you to go against the grain.
No, not with selling, you know, it's like, come on, this is lemongrass. Don't go that way.
I kind of feel like it's telling me what I need.
Hmm.
Like it's almost nurturing, you know, in like a tough love kind of way, you know.
You got what
Yeah.
I need.
There's, would you mind sharing what you know? I know you're like serious plant intuitive back here.
I just felt like it felt conversational, like it was very talkative.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because when you get into medical astrology, this plant's associated with Mercury. And that, looking at things and the archetype around Mercury, is about communication, often. So it's very interesting that, you can go online and look up, like, okay, lemongrass is cold, it's Mercury, and blah, 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 or you can just, like, take a minute and, like, tune in, because you already know, because we're all connected, we're all. Plants they're like our inverse, right? What they exhale, we inhale.
Mm-hmm.
And they're here to be with us. We know them so well. We just forgot sometimes.
And I really like just being introduced to one single ingredient in this slow, intentional way, 4 different ways. There's 10 different ways to do it, and just taking the time to be present. Like you said, you harvested this morning.
Yeah, a little bit yesterday and then this morning too.
So it tastes like today.
Right? The air, the dryness. Drying, they say it's a drying herb too.
The sunshine, I can taste the sunshine. The fire.
Right? Mm. The word that I had come to when I had sat with it, when I was making the hydrosol, and I put a little bit about them, I came to the word clarity. Because it seems like, the herb will cut you, but it's also like very friendly. And will help you make a decision or understand something clearer. That's what I got.
It kind of feels moist. Is it like just like that naturally, or did you have it in the fridge and then it came out with like some kind of precipitation on it? Or am I the only one that gets any moisture from it? Kind of?
Yeah, it's like when it gets bruised. It's so moist, and the stalk is juicy. Yeah, if you I'm gonna grab another piece of the stalk. There's, well, I'll just leave it up here. There's pieces of stalk in here, just hand sanitizer.
Did your temperature go up? Or did it cool you off?
I think maybe a combination of multiple things got my temperature up. Like I'm getting some spicy stuff from the nuts, and then the tea as
Yeah,
well.
because the palm of my hands are like very warm right now.
But also, in your hand, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably sucking the moisture off your hand from
Yeah, combination of everything.
The mercury thing is very interesting because mercury just went direct after what I've experienced, and what a lot of people around me have experienced, is like a particularly like iconically chaotic and urgent retrograde, and this really feels like a moment of like this planet communicating and sort of centering in general, and like, okay, here's a little bit of what's next. Like here's the new sort of the new even keel after all of that, I guess. And it would be today that would have been like this morning, that would have been, and it's the direct merging going directly.
It's interesting, it's just a clear message to deal with this plant today here. Wow. Yeah, like herbalism is not an exclusive thing. Anyone who tries to say that is like full of it.
Clarity, it just makes you want to go with what you feel with your gut. Like when you're thinking about a choice, it just makes you want to go with your gut.
I think like zooming out a little bit, the connection between Majid's and Lucifer's performance with this is something that's just the same to my body. It's like every note and movement that they did matches with your voice, and like every sensation I had with the things you brought to us. So, and this is really, I don't know about y'all, but this is super rare to experience in such an intimate way. Like, so it's amazing, and thank you, Majid, for that's like magical lantern now for me. It's like something that I would never expect. You know, it's not like just listening performance and singing cool stuff musical wise, but this merge, you know, it's like it's something else. It's like, yeah.
Right, watching y'all communicate during that piece was like really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so direct communication happening.
And the same here with the plant in my mouth and my nose, and you know, it's so direct. It's like, whoa, it's like, whoa. And your voice in my ears, like, whoa.
Yeah, and there's more. Well, I'm sure that gone probably way past the time that I said I was gonna go, which I'm sure is fine.
I don't know.